Let's bring in Brian Todd right now. He's working on another controversial story, an idea that was floated by the Secretary of Transportation to tax drivers out there for every mile they drive.
It was. He talked about this idea, then it was dialed back by the administration. It's pretty controversial, Wolf. Government officials, transportation experts tell us there are going to have to be new ways set up to pay for the maintenance of the country's roads, bridges, and other infrastructure. Gas taxes are not cutting it. One idea floated now may help a great deal, but it also could be a tough sell with motorists. A small box on the dashboard, a tiny antenna on the trunk. Not GPS or mobile communications, but a system to tax you for the miles you drive. It's been tested in Oregon, and other states are considering it. Why?
Or that federal gas tax is not throwing enough revenues, even to maintain the systems that we have today, no less expanding it for a 21st century economy.
Last fall, Congress had to approve $8 billion for roads and bridges because gas taxes couldn't pay for all of it. Experts say people are now driving less, buying more fuel-efficient cars, so there's less gas tax money. Transportation Secretary Ray LaHood talked about a federal mileage tax, telling the Associated Press we should look at the Vehicular Miles program where people are actually clocked on the number of miles that they traveled. But after CNN and others inquired about it, the White House said this.
That it is not and will not be the policy of the Obama administration.
Even though the mileage taxes might eventually take the place of gas taxes, there is driver backlash.
I'm one of those people that actually travel a little far to go to work. I travel like 2 hours, so I don't know about something like that.
I think it's a bad idea. I don't want to know where I'm at.
If it happens, computer chips would be placed in cars, and the government would track drivers with GPS-like systems, logging how much each car is driven and where. One consumer watchdog group is monitoring the privacy issues surrounding this idea.
For example, law enforcement might have an interest in that information. Civil litigants might also. And depending on the safeguards built around the device itself, a domestic abuser might have interest in that information.
Now, when Oregon state officials tested this idea, their report said that privacy was protected because, in their words, quote, no specific vehicle point location or trip data could be stored or transmitted. Just mileage totals in certain zones were tallied and the amount of fuel purchased, Wolf. But the privacy concern here is going to be big if this is ever implemented.
And there's another concern in terms of the incentive for people to drive cars that are more fuel efficient.
It's a big concern because some people say that if this is implemented, the gas guzzlers are going to be taxed at the same rate as the fuel-efficient cars. But one expert says, look, the incentive is still going to be there because gas prices are probably going to go up again anyway, so the incentive overall to buy a fuel-efficient car is still going to be there. But again, that's another debate on this proposal.
It's a debate out there, but I suspect it's moot from now because Ray LaHood may have floated this idea, right. The former Republican congressman from Illinois who's now the transportation secretary, but you saw how quickly the White House slapped him for even raising that idea.
They've dialed it back, and every state official who we talked to in other states who were considering this said it's really not a huge proposal on the table right now, but they have to think of something. It's one of many proposals that they're thinking about because they can't pay for the infrastructure right now.
Brian, thanks very much.